Something is coming. Something big.
If we wait, we die.
One Guardian
Will rise.
Do not delay us with pleasantries.
Alright, guys, welcome back to another Destiny 2 build video. As you've seen from the intro clips, we are focusing on Strand Hunter. Now, I was a bit skeptical about Strand from the start, but a good Titan build was a bit slow. Playing it on Hunter changes everything. For those of you not interested in what I have to say, here's the build, so you can copy it over without having to listen to the rest of the video. However, for those of you that are interested in understanding how I play it, what makes it great, what makes it incredibly fun, thanks for sticking around. So first of all, we're running the Quicksilver Storm, we're running the Assassin's Cowl, and combined with what you get in the Ascended Scepter, it's going to be lethal. Let's start with the fragments, the aspects, and abilities. So, we're playing Gambler's Dodge because we want more melee, and I'll explain that later. You can play whatever you want in terms of your jump mechanics, thread spike, and you choose grapple, because we're going to do a lot of power punches in this. The aspects that we're running is Widow's Silk and Ensnaring Slam. The Ensnaring Slam allows us to pretty much levitate enemies by diving down and expending them. Widow's Silk is very nice because it gives you an additional grenade charge, which is very useful with how much grenade energy you are going to create, which means you will effectively never run out of grappling. Doing that, dealing damage, generates grenade energy. That's Thread of Generation. We're also playing Woven Mail, so we're creating Woven Mail as we pick up an Orb of Power, which means we also get Unraveling Rounds when we do that, and because of what we have in the artifact, we also have volatile rounds. So not only do you have unraveling rounds, which is effectively the Strand version of volatile rounds, you also have volatile rounds, which really works well with the synergy between the two weapons, which I'll explain later. The final aspect, while you have Woven Mail, Weapon Final Blows creates a tangle, which once again feeds really well into the artifact. Ultimately, this, Threaded Blast, and Untangler creates so much damage, and you're going to create so many tangles that you're going to not only be able to add clear very effectively, but it's also going to increase your survivability. We've also got Allied Unraveling, so even though we're picking up orbs to get Unraveling Rounds, we're also getting it from Rapid Final Blows. You want Unraveling Rounds and Volatile Rounds up as much as possible. And of course, we're also running Counterweave, which when you do decide to play with people, you can get some cooldown from that as well. Of course, you want to select this, especially the overloaded auto SMG, because that's what you're pretty much going to use in auto rifle. You want multi-siphon mods for grenades as well as for void, and volatile rounds. It's a game changer. Finally, also shattered ores, because you do run into quite a few volatile or void shield combatants, so it allows you just to create orbs of power on the go. In terms of the gun, Quicksilver Storm with the Catalyst gives you strand damage. So not only do you have like the nano entanglement and all of that stuff, but the burst damage that this does, combined with the fact that you're creating unraveling rounds because of how many enemies you can kill all at once, and even by picking up an Orb of Power, makes this pretty much unstoppable. I'm also kind of wary of the fact that there's a rumor going around that the Quicksilver Storm is not doing the damage it's supposed to be doing against red bars, so you're doing 40% less damage. So if they fix this, it's going to be even more intense. I'm running the Deafening Whisper. It's a waveframe void grenade launcher, because once you make things levitate and you put this guy down, as you would have seen in the intro clip, it's just It's just an explosion festival, which is very nice. And then of course we're running the retrofit escapade because it's a really strong alternative right now. But I would not necessarily, if you have something like the circular logic with golden tricon, it works really well with grenades and all of that, or one with demolitionist on, that would also work perfectly fine. But that depends on what you want to run, what you would put in there, void or strand reserves, and you might have to adjust your artifact accordingly. In terms of the armor, we're running Assassin's Cowl, and as you guys are probably aware, when you have a powered melee final blow, you get invisibility and you regenerate health. That's what makes this so powerful. Not only can you whiz around, punching things left, right, and center, but you can also turn invisible, gain your health, and at the same time just continue doing what you're doing, that circular loop. On here, obviously, all stats on here, you have to do what you think is best for you, but I would recommend resilience, getting it up to 100. I don't have this masterworked yet, and if I do, probably be able to get discipline up to 100 as well. So I'll be having resilience and discipline at 100. Access to assets, I mean, this is going to be crucial because even though you're using your grapple, when you do grapple melee charge combination, you will still generate melee energy. At the moment, I'm running Void Strand Duel, Siphon Duel, because I feel like it's giving me, if this is a combination, it's giving me 2 of each. I don't know if that is true, but if not, you can always just slot in one of these and one strand. You should be fine, but just adjust your artifact for that accordingly. On the arms, we're running Grenade Kickstart, we're running Heavy Handed, we're running Impact Induction. All of this feeds into creating more energy for you and also health, because you'll create orbs with this. You will be able to get a cooldown because of this, and you'll get a cooldown because of the melee attack that you just did on your grenade. On the chest piece, we're running melee damage resistance, close up, got some extra void, and then of course charge up, because we want to have 4 charges up all the time. Being able to do that, we also need to run stacks on stacks so that we get an additional stack of armor. So we only would need 2 orbs for us to be able to get 4 stacks, allowing us to capitalize on both the grenade Kickstarter, but also on utility Kickstarter, because my mobility is relatively low. The reason I want this to also be available quickly is when you run into trouble and you get overwhelmed, you can always just dive to the ground, make everything levitate, and recover and do what you need to do to survive. But coming back to the boots, yes, stack on stacks, and we're running insulation because of the cooldown for our class ability, for the same reason I just mentioned. And of course, this comes in clutch. I don't think I'll play without recuperation on anything, even if I'm playing something that has Devour. It just comes in clutch so much, and you're creating so many orbs that your sustain is just so much better. So finally, you've already seen this, but reducing grenade cooldown when using your class abilities. Sometimes we do just do a dodge to get our melee back so we can take care of a couple of minor targets. And when you go in for finishes, get a massive overshield, and of course you also heal because of your exotic. So this really helps if you're like very low, almost about to die, and you can get a finisher, you get a massive overshield, and then you also proc an invis and health regen. So the survivability is just incredible. So guys, that's what I have for you. This is the build. I don't know how strong it would be in something like a GM. It depends on the team that you're playing with. It is something that I have tested solo in Legendary Campaign, in Nightfalls, etc. It works perfectly fine. It's incredibly fun. And if you guys want to see how it performs just in general, go check out my previous streams titled Strand Hunter Build Crafting. We had 2 streams on this, and it would show you some more in-depth gameplay. If you enjoyed the video and it was helpful and you enjoy the builds, the intro clips, try to make it a bit more fun, please do stick around, subscribe, drop a like. It really does help the video a lot. I want to thank you guys for all of your support recently. It's just been incredible. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, which has been my target, by June, and we hopefully will make it by Easter. So if you enjoy the content, feel free to stick around. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day, all the best for the week that lies ahead, and I'll see you in a live stream sometime soon. Take care.